So we are back with our detailing to be done. And for that, I will just explain a few things for you, for people, especially who are beginners. For example, this is a normal sketch pen. The Indian brand is Stix Camlin. Otherwise, it's a normal thin nib sketch pen that gives a very nice, crisp, dark black line. Okay. Then here you have fine liners. Now, fine liners come in brush. Fine liners generally are waterproof. So if you're doing something with watercolors, then you need fine liners that are waterproof. Sketch pen is not waterproof. So you get these fine liners of assorted sizes. Like, for example, this is number 8. Then I have another one that is 10. Number 8 and 5 is what I usually work with. Now, again, the nib is slightly thicker than the 8. Then I even have 12. So where is my 12? Yeah. So it's got a number 12 and it's going to be even thicker. So, but not as thick as a sketch pen. If you can see, these are slightly fine liners. The still slightly thinner. Sketch pen's a little larger. Then you have, with this, you even have a brush. So this is called a brush pen. Fine liner, the same brand, but it has a brush nib. So it goes from thick to thin. So this is basically what you need for these kind of black and white, crisp artworks. For today, I'm going to be using this sketch pen and probably any one of these fine liners, probably number 8 or 10. So I'll just keep these two out. Right? And we start. So the outline I'm going to be doing with the sketch pen because I want the outline to be slightly more starker and thicker. So we'll go by letter by letter. Let me just set the camera. First, always draw the outline. A lot of times, I change my mind whether I'm going to be coloring inside or not. So hence, I do not color the inside till I've got the entire alphabet done. Once I have the entire outline done, then I'll take a call whether I want to fill in the inside. Right? I think I might just let it be. Quite like the white contrast with the lines. Next, we draw the E. I will have a little bit at the back. Again, be very deliberate. Don't have a lot of very scribbly lines. Try and keep the lines crisp and neat. Else, it starts looking extremely untidy, even when you have lettering where you're not really following the rules, but the lines need to be nice and steady. There you go. Okay. Why I'm keeping this white, because this is going to be stark black. So it's going to be a nice contrast with, and this is also going to be black. Yeah, so it's good to have a kind of a white and black going very well with the lines as well. And steady hand. Try and make it in one go. It's a lot of fun once you, and there are samples online that you can copy just to get started, but it's a lot of fun when you start using your own creativity. So even if I'm copying the, say, the same quote that was there in the internet or something, but if you kind of work around with the alphabet, the design, or even the layout, say this was maybe in a ribbon, but you made it like this. So you're just kind of changing the, keep the quote, but changing the design and making it your own. Steady hand, slow, so that you keep the line in one flow. If you stop in the middle, there'll be a little lump here. So even if you might go thin, but try and keep the line in one go. Comes with practice and being very, very, take a deep breath into it, being stable with your hand, taking your time with it. Yeah. So this one is done. Now we make the. Again, this is a very um, not a very crisp circle. So in case you want to make a very, very crisp circle, you can take a bottle top, bottle thing, or anything that is round and trace it so that you get a crisp line. I will just wing it. And here inside, I will use my pen because I want this outline to be a little more crisp. With a thinner pen, you get a more crisp line. And then I cover the entire thing with black. Yeah, so that has come out as the relief. Just some white spots left. After this, we will again use the sketch pen and just draw this. Now again, here, try and keep, like I said, keep this hand, whichever hand you're using, steady. Take the help of the base of your, so that when you're taking the pen like this is supporting it, and you're not stopping in the middle. You're kind of doing it in one go, okay? Take a deep breath. Try not to stop. Same thing here. I'm doing it slightly faster. But see, if I stop here, there'll be a lump when I start again. There usually is. Okay. Then this circle will be colored. Need to keep this in line. Yeah, this as well. Now here, it'll be absolutely black. Right. So when we were in college, we were told to make, probably that's also one of the reasons why uh, your hand becomes steady. Because as part of our art college lessons, we were told to make lines, and we mustn't stop anywhere. We had to keep going. We had to take newspapers because obviously you don't want to waste so much of paper, and keep making circles and lines and circles and lines non-stop in one go. So that's also something that if you're keen on improving your line work and stroke work, so you keep making circles and circles and circles and making them bigger and bigger, and your hand gets more steady. So our, just get my camera a little up so you can see the full picture. Yeah. Right. Now we first and foremost give the outline. Okay. We fill in the design and everything later. I will make the circles with a fine liner and just the outline with the sketch pen. Next, we take one liner. I've taken a number 10. Try and keep the circles of a similar size. But if you can't, it really doesn't matter. It'll look nice anyways. Just adding design. So even if it's thick and thin, small and big, you can get away with it. And done. So next we're going to start with filling the blank stuff. To see the dots are popping out. Just fill out the rest of the space. And using sketch pen to fill in the blank stuff is because they're cheap and best. And if you fill in too much with your fine liners, then the nibs don't really last that long because you're filling it in. So it's always better to use them for finer stuff, like maybe some detailing between the letters, this, that. But where you're filling in like black stuff, it's always better to use a black marker, sketch pen. So that you don't use up your better art supplies. These are a dime a dozen, quite cheap. Only thing is, be careful that you get a fine nib. Don't get those thick ones. See, it's already looking so pretty. Again, very deliberate and with a lot of patience so that you don't color inside the dots, even by mistake. Right? So all of them, even though this and this might be a little similar, but they're just because by virtue of filling them in and keeping them with lines, they're just different, okay? And sometimes what you can also do is like keep the eye ease and add a little curves. That just makes it slightly more different than than with each other, okay? So we come down to the last word, sorry. And first we make the outline. Again, steady hand. You can take the help of a scale, okay? There's no harm. There's no shame in taking the help of a scale in case your hand is a little wobbly, rather than making the artwork look untidy. Just okay. So what we have done here is just made the outline. The today part, I will make it slightly different. I had saved up one font that I wanted to use. I'm going to be doing a shadow here. Okay. keeping it blank inside, just giving the outline. But here, because I'm going to be adding the shadow with my, where's the cover of this? So this time I'm going to be adding a shadow. So generally what we did last time, that we learned how to add the shadow when the light is from this side. In this one, I will be adding the shadow on the opposite side, okay? And I will take a number 10 fine liner. So the light is from this side, the shadow will be falling towards the left. So we have, I think there's a little issue with the D. It could have been a little broader, but that's all right. So we come down to adding the details with the sketch pen. I'll just add the lines first. And I'll just rub the eraser over it, so all the pencil marks get a little lighter. Now we start adding the little design elements here and there. I'm also going to be adding some lines on the alphabet itself to give it some movement. For example, Like I remember teaching this with you all. Where was this? Yeah, like we had done this in the last session. So this was adding some lines that would just give a little bit of movement to this. Adding some lines here, this kind of a shadow. So I'm just going to be doing first the shadow, and then we will work on giving some movements. Okay, so the edges, the rounded areas have some little more lines, and we have lines and dots and dashes just to bring this up a bit. Okay. Now what we're going to do is make a few more fillers. I want to add a few flowers here. So for example, we add simple flowers. Another one here. Okay, some small dots. One more smaller flower. Don't make it look too cluttered. The alphabet, the importance of the words should not disappear, but it should not look too empty also. Okay. So we've filled this up, be the reason that somebody smiles today. What we can also do is fill the heart up. Now you have a choice. You can fill this up with a single color, like a red. I can show you how it looks. Let me see if I have a red sketch pen lying around somewhere, or a red color pencil. That'll just give a pop of color. Just makes it slightly more interesting. Hmm. Can't seem to find red anywhere. Let's see if this will work. Or you can just color it black with a little dot. Okay, totally up to you. You can also add little stars. So one of the easier ways of doing these little sparkling stars is make a cross and then just cross it out as again. So it just kind of gives it And it's not necessary that you make it. If you feel you you want to leave it as it is, you can do that. You don't really have to add anything. Just adding here, you added circles, tiny circles. Here I'm adding just some dots. And here, what we can do is just to fill out this empty space here. Okay, 2 dots here. And little design like this, but which I shall color black. Right, so this is, you can keep it as simple without any of these elements and just enjoy the white space, black and white design. Or you can even just give these little designs that just elevate it slightly. Otherwise, totally your design. Okay, you can add some little dots here as well to get this up, dots around it, or make this black. Or instead of this here, you can just add a leaf, a kind. Let me see if I can find a leaf to show you. Yeah, like this, something like this over here on both sides. So totally make it your own personal design. Add your own little touch to make it slightly different from what's there on the internet, or you know anything else that gives you what you like in your design element. So that's it for today. I hope you all enjoyed learning something called lettering, and we made a beautiful quote. We have these little things that we did on our first day where we understood what lettering and fun alphabets are, and then we kind of used it and made it into a beautiful inspirational quote with a lot of little doodles and stuff that just elevates it and makes it more fun. Okay, so I'll see you in the next lesson. I hope you all enjoyed it. And please, this is good enough to be framed and put up in your room or on your work table. And you can look at it and smile. Somebody else can look at it and smile as well. Bye bye.